All a man needs is a bucket of chicken and a shuffleboard.
Let's talk about that. Good mythical morning.
All right, I'm going on record. I got a hot take on KFC.
Hot take alert!
That KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, is the best fast food eaten outside of the restaurant, but the most disappointing in the restaurant. There's something about it, it just hits different when it's eaten out in the wild. You know, like at a family reunion when they got the bucket?
I mean, it's not a hot take for me. You know I'm with you on this. You take it beyond those walls,
right,
especially outside, and it just becomes like a treat unlike any other.
Well, here's my theory. Somewhere hidden in those secret 11 herbs and spices, there's some sort of geotag location-based release of flavor. Nanotechnology.
Okay, you know, I wonder what decade that nanotech was added. I also wonder which decades everything was added to the finger-licking menu. It's time for the Shuffleboard Game, KFC edition.
Welcome to the Shuffleboard Game Zone.
Yeah, and each round, we're gonna be given a delicious, iconic KFC menu item to be eaten outdoors later, hopefully. And we'll have to guess which decade that food was first added to their menu by shuffling our cluck pucks down to the corresponding decade. Whoever's closest to the actual decade wins the round.
Now, this is interesting. Apparently, KFC started as a small diner called Sanders Court and Cafe. Very few menu items, and it was attached to a gas station. Then it went on to become franchised, which is when it officially became KFC. Now, for this game, we're only using the franchised era, or era, whatever you prefer, of KFC as potential answers. Now,
Dang it, I knew so much about the gas station era.
Court and Cafe. Now, hey, listen, we're mixing things up. You know how we like to do. Some of you said, hey, what if we go back to the old school way where you mix all the decades up? You know, we listen. And we did that for this game. They're all mixed up old school style.
You think it's better? Let's see if it's better. Something else that we're changing up, we're gonna make this a bump fest. Instead of limiting one bump per game, per person.
Per round.
We're gonna have unlimited bumps.
Yeah, right.
All right?
You're right, you were right. It's gonna be per round. You can do it per round.
Yes.
Court and Cafe.
The winner's gonna be able to make the loser cluck like a chicken just by licking his fingers in good mythical moment.
His own fingers. See?
Pot pie!
Okay,
Now,
all right.
I actually couldn't have told you
That they sold a pot
that
pie?
they sold a pot pie that was this big. I thought they were.
thought it was a miniature
I thought they were miniature.
Well, let's see how it tastes. I don't know if I've had this.
I don't think I have either. Does that mean it's new or so old that we don't care about it?
I think I've only ever gotten chicken there.
It might be too hot. Watch out, it might be real hot. Is it hot?
No.
Oh.
Oh, it's good though.
That is good.
I'm going back in.
All right, you're gonna shuffle first because you won.
Yeah, I won last time. It was pointed out to us that this game has gone back and forth. Me winning, you winning, me winning, you winning, since October of last year, Link.
Yeah, we talked about this last time.
I'm trying to break the streak today. Now, I would assume that a chicken pot pie in general was invented many moons ago. Like, it's maybe one of the oldest foods.
Your options range from 2010 back to 1930.
I think that this is a relatively late addition to the menu. It's an old school thing that was added relatively recently. I think it was added in the 2000s, right there at the top. I'm also just inviting you to the bump fest, my friend, by putting myself at the very top.
Yeah, I just bump you without even trying. Did he overshoot 2000? Only slightly. Between 1950 and 2000, see, the random presentation of decades has now given you the ability to hedge your bet a little bit.
Oh, that crust is good.
I agree with you. I didn't know about this, and since I only eat KFC outdoors, I don't really look at their menu. I thought this was 2010, but it could be 2000. I think if I bump you back to 1960 and then I stay somewhere on this side of it, that's a great defensive move. But I don't know how the bumps are gonna behave.
How will the bumps behave?
I might as well go ahead and learn. Okay. This is for the Colonel! Oh, you did
Oh, wow!
No! I swapped it the wrong way!
You did the switch.
I did the wrong thing!
Now, hold on. If it's in the 2010s, this is a measurement situation. Let's find out. What's the information, Stevie?
While the pot pie itself was invented many moons ago, KFC did not add pot pie to their menu until the same year that Toy Story first hit theaters and Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise topped the charts in 1995.
Ooh, you're still closer.
Yes.
1990.
Woo, just barely, y'all. Oh,
That's not a cloche, that's a bucket.
Cloche. And we have fried
extra
chicken.
crispy. You think I needed a sign to know that was extra crispy? I know extra crispy. That's what I used to get for my birthday.
It's so big, too. I love it.
Oh, look. That'll cut your mouth, y'all.
Okay. You're in the lead, son. You go first.
So, as a kid, you preferred extra crispy for your birthday, but now, are you an original man? Because I am.
You know what? As a dad, I became an original man.
I mean, this has got to go pretty way back. I definitely know that the original is cooked in a pressure cooker and the extra crispy's cooked in a different way. It's like pan fried, I think.
How you know so much about KFC?
This has got to be early.
My fingers are so greasy right now.
1940?
I'm just gonna wipe them on this thing right here.
1950? 1960s, way back there. All right, I'm gonna go in 1950.
Okay.
But I know that you're gonna put me in a bump area.
This is a bump fest. Lots of calculation.
I think I want to go more to the middle than to the side, even though that invites a bump.
Oh, that looks like it's gonna be well placed.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, on the back side of 1950. Extra crispy, my friend.
I don't agree with your guess.
That's fine. I don't care.
I mean, I want to bump you because it's a bump fest, but I think you went too far back in time. I don't know.
It seems like the next thing you'd think of after you're serving fried chicken.
I feel like the technology required for that much crisp was something that didn't exist in the 50s.
Not true.
That was something they were like putting on television shows about what the future would be like. I bet when Walt Disney did that Tomorrowland thing, and it was all the different things that would happen, people will have screens in their homes. People's chicken will be very, very crispy.
So what's your answer?
I know it was in the 80s because I ate it as a kid in the 80s. I think it's the 70s.
I'm licking my fingers. I wasn't even doing it for the brandy.
If I graze you and move you off to the left, I could be closer to the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. Mm-hmm. So that seems to be the play here, but I can't go too hard.
A lot of unknowns with a bump.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so mission accomplished.
So there's no way.
Unless
that
it's the
I win.
40s.
Colonel Sanders didn't perfect his 11 herbs and spice-filled fried chicken recipe until 10 years after he first started selling chicken, and the extra crispy version of KFC's classic chicken didn't appear on KFC's menus until the technology for that much crisp existed in 1972.
Yeah! That crispy technology was the 70s.
No, that's you. That's not what happened. She's just trying to make you feel.
Yeah, me and Stevie are on our wavelength here. The chicken wavelength, man.
Why don't you lick my finger?
Whoa! He's doing a bad finger, y'all. Did you know that Ore-Ida is actually a portmanteau of Oregon and Idaho? I learned that by watching the videos over on the Mythical Kitchen channel.
You can learn that too by watching the Mythical Kitchen channel. The Kitcheneers have a fun, fact-filled video every week. They also have a second one. So it's 2 videos every week.
Right. You got at least one fun fact-filled video.
And a controversial food podcast every Wednesday called A Hot Dog is a Sandwich. If you like fun food things and controversy, check out all of that stuff.
Whoa!
Bam! We got biscuits!
Talk about controversy.
And they will give you a pack of honey.
But what's your official stance on KFC biscuits?
Oh, I like them. They're doughy. See, that one's a little burnt. I didn't go for that one. But they're usually
You
light,
like a light biscuit.
light and doughy, which is what I called you in high school.
If you go to like a Bojangles with Link where you can select your biscuit, he will ask for a light biscuit.
But yeah, because I can select the biscuit.
Right. Biscuits has got to be one of the first things they added to the chicken. I mean, biscuits may have been before chicken.
Sometimes I don't even like to say the word chicken without adding "and biscuits."
Right. This is old, son.
You think it's what, 50?
I think it's 40.
Ooh.
And I know I'm going to get bumped, but I've got to start somewhere.
You might.
Didn't quite make
Stop a
it to
little
40.
short. You want me to bump you to 1940?
I'm inviting you to bump me.
Yeah, it has to be early. I gotta get you away from 40. I gotta bump you off the Bizord.
It's tough to bump somebody off the board without bumping yourself off the board.
That's why I don't want to go with a harsh angle. I want to give it a glancing blow so that I can stay on the board. My answer is everything closer to me than to him on the board, because I'm about to knock him to heaven.
It's a risky move.
But
here.
it could be 40. Stay on the board. We're both off the board, but we can both measure from those places.
Hold on. Okay. Well, let's hear the answer, and then we'll.
I mean,
figure
you
out.
have to. They're still in play.
Yeah.
These buttermilk biscuits have not always been a KFC staple. KFC originally served hot dinner rolls with their meals and did so all the way up until biscuits took their place in 1982.
Whoa. I think I might be closer to 1980, brother.
Do we have a measuring tool in here?
I mean, how can I not be closer?
What?
It's right there. Don't move it now. I'm exactly 20 inches to the orange. 25. All right.
Dang it.
So the bump backfired.
Yeah, it did. There's more bumps where that came from. What?
Gravy.
Is there taters down in there?
Nope.
Just gravy.
Just the gravy,
So,
which I would.
of course, we have to sample this to know anything about it.
It tastes different than I thought it would taste without the taters.
Peppery. It's very peppery.
It's very peppery.
And salty. Salty and peppery.
You've taken the lead, which means you're shuffling first. When did
Gravy.
they add gravy to the menu? And was that before mashed potatoes?
I would assume that the answer of when they added mashed potatoes is probably the same as when they added gravy, right? Isn't that the day that you'd make the same decision?
Maybe not. I've seen gravy on chicken.
Man, I don't know. This also seems early to me. But so far, a lot of things that we thought were early were not early.
Go for 2000.
I think it may have taken a while to get to potatoes, because that's what I'm doing. I'm rooting myself with a potato in 1960. And I'm trying to make myself bump proof by nestling against the back.
A little bump off the back into 60. That was an accurate shuffle for an inaccurate guess, my friend.
Okay.
I think it was earlier than that, which makes it nice that you've committed all the way down there into 60. I mean, I'm just going to go with my guts here and say that you've gone too late.
You're going with your guts, plural?
Yeah.
Never
So-
heard anybody say that.
I think it's an earlier than 60, which means I'm going to nestle against your 60.
Don't nestle too hard. Oh, you didn't get there. Hey, but you know what?
You got me so scared of bumping you that I came up short. This is cool though, because I definitely
You
think
still got a great chance.
my official answer is 1950.
Gravy makes the perfect peppery addition to any KFC combo. This gravy has been on their menu ever since the restaurant was first franchised in 1952.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right.
It's interesting. I'm in this. We are tied entering the final round, and before I reveal what's under here, I think we need to have a discussion about what we're going to do that's not impacted by what's under the clothes.
Because we are tied going into the final round, that means that I go back to the fact that I won last time, which gives Link an advantage in the final round. Now, if we're letting bumps go all the way to the final round, my particular stance is that gives you too much of an advantage, because then you could just bump me and win the game.
I could just blow you completely out of the water, and then it's not about me having an educated guess at all.
But if we outlaw a bump, I don't need to go first, because then that gives me too much of an advantage. You should go first, because then you get the slight advantage of going first, and I have to take your puck into account.
As long as my shuffles are accurate. I am for this because, as we've already demonstrated, I've used the bump to my disadvantage, and so I'm not inclined to lean too heavily on it anyway.
So if you go first, but then I accidentally bump you in a non-bump round within a bump fest, what happens?
The standing rule for non-bump fest shuffleboard should stand. Let's consult the scroll.
Okay, all right.
Consulting ye scroll o shuffle rules.
If a player has exhausted his bump and then grazes his opponent's puck, the opponent may regard it as a bump or stand by the post-bump position of the puck. When an illegal bump doth occurreth, the offending player's puck is moved wherever their opponent chooses, and the opponent's puck is returned to its pre-bump position. So if you go first, and then I accidentally bump you, you can put me wherever you want and return your puck to its original position. The scroll has been consulted.
And wherever I want still has to be within the pyramid of decades.
You can't like throw me out the back door. Be safe, be holy. Yeah. We don't even know what we're tasting yet though.
Okay, now back to the game at hand. Popcorn chicken?
No, I think this is a famous bowl.
Okay, there's corn, gravy, and this is,
Okay,
don't like that.
you're going first, giving you the slight advantage. Man, I actually think you've got a pretty big advantage at this point.
Oh gosh, okay. I should remember when these famous bowls were introduced because they were famous right off the bat.
It isn't that good, but I'm still eating it.
This is really good for me.
Yeah, it's really good for
This
you.
is 2000.
That's what I would guess.
It has to be because 80 and 90 are taken, and those will be my only guesses because it's not as recent as 2010. There's no way.
This really didn't work out in my favor.
You cannot graze me.
If I touch you at all, you get to place me wherever you want.
So I got to have the finesse right on the pinnacle.
Oh, too
Stop,
much.
stop, 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 stop,
Too
stop!
much!
No!
Too much!
No! No, 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 no! I could have stopped short.
You could have.
That would have been strategic.
There was a lot of other ways to do that.
I'd get so nervous.
Well, hold on. Okay, all is not lost for you because it might be as recent as the 2010s. I don't know, but
It's not.
It feels
It's not.
solidly in the 2000s.
It's not. If you win, you break the streak first time since last October.
But now, see, now I'm nervous. I've never had to thread
Gave
the
it
needle.
to you.
I've never had to thread the needle this significantly in the final round.
That is gonna do it.
Woo!
Come on, Stevie. me it's
KFC's
2010.
famous bowl, made up of chicken bites, corn, cheese, mashed potatoes, and gravy, is the perfect dish for both the KFC lover on the go. This innovative combination was first introduced in 2006.
Yeah!
4 years later, and I would have accidentally won.
The Bump Fest was fun.
Bump fest?
Bump Fest, that was fun, y'all.
Fest.
Thanks for subscribing and clicking that bell.
You know what time it is.
Hey, I'm Alex. This is safe. I just got to win in the octagon, and now it's time to spin the wheel of mythicality.
How cool is that? Yes, Alex knocked out the cowboy in the first round, and then what did he do? He made a Wheel of Mythicality video, y'all.
4 minutes, 40 seconds, TKO. Thanks, Alex, for thinking of us in that moment. I don't know that I would have done the same.
No, well, you wouldn't have been there in the first place. Neither would I.
Hey.
All right, click the top link to watch us discover the craziest KFC items ever in Good Mythical More.
And to talk about the mythical census results, if you're into that.
Yeah, you are.
And to find out where the Wheel of Mythicality is gonna land.
And a lot of people say it is not poutine if it has meat in it, it has other stuff. We're gonna break almost every single rule of poutine. Canada, come fight me.